did you have a low from the whole time you were there? Like, was there just one memory?
Well, what else has happened? I mean, then on the show, then I met Adam. That was fun because he was cute for.
Isn't that one of the highs? You had Adam for a little while. I mean, that Carole, that would be a high for me. I mean, I'm over here in Chelsea, not that far away. You could have sent him my way.
No, I'll tell you, that was so completely unexpected because another thing I thought I'd gone on that first season, I was just like sort of ending a relationship with Russell, right? He was the keyboard player in Aerosmith, right? So we had been together kind of off and on for 2 years when I was living in LA, and that was fun, but I felt like it was kind of coming sort of to an end. And he was on the show that first season with me a couple of times, but they were touring. Aerosmith, I think, was toured that like for 3 months that first when we were filming, so he wasn't around anyway. Oh, in fact, we went to St. Bart's because he was playing in a music festival in St. Bart's. That was technically the reason. They were desperate to find a reason for us to go anywhere. And I'm like, well, Russ is playing in a music festival. We could pretend we're really desperate to go see him in this music festival. They're like, great.
They're like Aerosmith. Perfect. That makes sense.
Yeah. And so we did that. So, but then after that relationship was over, I felt like I'm on the show and it's really hard to have a private life and really date someone of consequence that I really like and who wouldn't be so blown away by the whole TV machinery of it all, right? Like no one is gonna want to be part of this crazy Town show. So it was nice when I met Adam because I sort of resigned myself to not being in a relationship for a couple of years. I was fine with them. Like, let me just do this and like focus on this and not be in a relationship and have the women like trash it up. Right. So then I meet Adam and it was nice because it was on the show. It was completely unexpected. I mean, it really was that moment we met, I think was on the show. Like I walked into the kitchen. I was like, hi, who are you? And of course that got trashed up a little, but we didn't care, Adam and I, because off camera was our relationship, right? What that they were chatting about and what Luann continues to just chat about is ridiculous, was irrelevant to us. But ultimately we were together about 3 or 4 years. And it does weigh on you. It's hard really to have a relationship and show it on the show and like have the show not impact the relationship, even though as much as we tried to keep it off the show.
4 years do you think it would have lasted longer if it wasn't for the show, or do you think it actually lasted
I think
longer?
4 years was good. I think 4 years was good. Honestly, I mean, 4 years. Yeah. It was, we had a great run for the time we were together and we're still friends now. So he was someone in my life at the time when he was exactly what I needed and I was to him, and it just really worked. And I don't know if we wouldn't still be together if it wasn't for this. It's hard to tell, like a hypothetical like that. It's hard to say, but yeah, I mean, we took a lot of hits because, he was, it was all manufactured and made up stuff, that Luann was talking about, but it made for good TV. And no matter how, I always say, it's not really sometimes what you say. For me, in my experience, it wasn't what you said that like Bravo would manipulate and exploit. It was all the things that didn't get in the show. It was all the stuff where you were explaining, no, this is actually what really happened, and it was logical and factual and made sense, but it was like, oh, that's not as interesting, or that's not as like dramatic. It's more dramatic if you stole Luann's niece's boyfriend away from her. That's soap opera land, right? We like that. We're like, that's not any way, shape, or form the truth. But so and that didn't matter how many times I said that. That was just always on the cutting room floor, or they weren't interested in that. So it ended up, being out there. I don't care. I didn't care at the time even because I knew the truth. He knew the truth. Luann's niece knew the truth. The funny thing is she was on the show recently, right?
Yes.
Like, she was like with Heather, because that's the only episode I saw.
Yes. I
mean,
forgot
she
where they
was-
were.
They were doing like a naked painting.
Yes. Yes. She was
And
there.
she was there, and she's a really beautiful young girl, definitely capable of having a boyfriend, of getting a boyfriend. And like, there's like, if I was her and my aunt was on TV saying, you know, that this woman, this 50-year-old woman stole my niece's boyfriend, I'd be like, Luann, chill, Auntie Luann, chill. Because and the niece, I forget, Nicole, had a boyfriend actually the entire time I was with Adam. I met him. I met the boyfriend. I met Nicole's boyfriend that she had.
Yeah.
And I met Adam and was dating Adam. She was dating this other guy. Really nice looking guy, tall, nice looking guy, I forget his name. But Adam and I ran into them at MoMA museum screening of something. And so the whole thing about, you know, stealing her boyfriend, it was just a fabrication made up by Bravo, and Luann ran with it, or made up by Luann and then Bravo ran.
I was going to say production must have loved it. Like, older woman, younger man, he's tied to Luann. Let's keep him around. I'm sure they were like, this is amazing.
It was great. I don't know why I think on your podcast, she brought it up again.
Did she?
Yeah.
You remember more about my chat with Luann than I remember.
Well, because I didn't see it, but I saw the, you know, like I said, all the blogs like pick it up and they turn it, and maybe she didn't, you know, but she was saying a bunch of BS about it.
Interesting.
Luann actually dated her niece's boyfriend, which Heather and I never talked about. We never brought it up on the show ever. Like, you know, we were like, should we talk about Jeff, who was the niece's boyfriend? The only time I met Nicole, the niece, before the show, you know, and she had a boyfriend, was not Adam. It was this guy, Jeff, who Luann dated. So like, honey, pipe down, because, you know, I know all the stories.
And Heather was just like, no, let's not bring
We were going to have him on the show, but then we didn't. I don't know, you know, I don't know if he wanted to be involved, but we were going to, because Luann wanted, he was a good friend of Heather's. That's how we knew. And I had met him, and he had told us the story. And then Luann wanted to have a date that season or the following season. And she was like, what about Jeff, to Heather? And Heather was like, don't we have enough of your niece's ex-boyfriends on the show? And Luann was like, oh, I guess so. But like, he was hot. I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, I know where all the bodies are buried, or at least I did at the time on the show that I was on.
I'm sure. Do you still talk to Adam at all?
No, we do.
You still keep in touch?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.